June, the southern shore of Taurida. The sea today is not azure. It is leaden, heavy, as if filled with molten tin. The city moves through its last week as if nothing has changed. Markets bustle, ships creak at the docks, but the air tastes of something waiting to break. Fish are being sold, still smelling of mud and salt. Persian and Muscovite traders count furs and whisper about prices. Genoese galleys groan at anchor. They came for grain, and this year's harvest was rich. But there is one man who feels the weather change before everyone else: Giuliano Gentile, Consul of Caffa. He is 47. Silver threads touch his temples, but his heart is still hot and impatient. He comes from an old Genoese family, not the richest branch. His father captained a trading ship. His grandfather was a notary. He worked his way up, studies in Pavia, a secretary in Pura, tax collector in Chiasse. Everywhere he was dependable, honest, not a thief. And then at Caffa, the fattest bone the Bank of St. George could throw its servant. A city that feeds half of Europe with grain, sends silk to Venice, and ships slaves to Egypt. To be consul here is like being crowned governor of California during a gold rush. Giuliano accepted the post proud and naive. He wrote home, "We will finally live like people. I'll buy you a pearl necklace." The children knew ponies. He did not know then that pearls would turn into bullets. This morning, he stands on the highest tower of the citadel, St. Constantine's Tower, and he counts. 1, 2, 37, 123. He counts the soldiers lined up on the plaza. They are few to few. For 2 months, he has sent 7 letters to Genoa, begging for reinforcements. The replies are stamped papers: take note, optimize expenses, review staffing. And yesterday, the final answer arrived: sending additional forces this quarter is inadvisable. Use local reserves. Giuliano laughed then, a short, hollow laugh. Later he sat by the candle and thought, local reserves. We have only this old, sick city that has forgotten what war means. What he does not yet know is worse. While he stands watch, cloak snapping in the wine like a wounded bird's wing, 8 men meet in a marble hall in Genoa. They do not see the sea, they see numbers. Genoa in 1407 was bleeding money, and out of that bleeding came the Bank of St. George, a solution dressed as salvation. Creditors were offered a choice: we cannot pay back your coins, but we will give you shares, a cut of every tax, every toll, every penny the state collects. They stopped being lenders and became partners. By the 1420s, the bank had swallowed debts and lands: Corsica, Chios, Cyprus, Caffa. The bank learned to count people like coins. Giuliano signed his contract with light in his eyes. Consul and governor of Caffa for 5 years, it read, with the right of justice, tax collection, and coinage. You must deliver 40,000 lire net profit annually. You will fund defense and cover losses personally. In case of war, you will produce your own forces. In case of the city's fall, you answer to the shareholders for lost profits. They gave him the title and took the risk away. 2 years into his term, the warning signs are clear. Ottoman ships edge closer. Tatar bands burn villages on the hinterland. He asks for archers, for money to mend the walls. The bank answers in ink. Recalculate Caffa's profitability, writes Battista Lomellini. If defense costs exceed 5% of gross revenue, treat them as the consul's losses. Remind Gentile that taxes must rise 10% annually. Lomellini dines on pheasant and pours Cyprus wine. He does not name Giuliano, he signs the consul. Back in the city, soldiers eat rotten fish and moldy bread because Giuliano has emptied his coffers buying powder and shot. He writes to his wife, sell the family earrings. Send the money, I need 20 more crossbows. The air tastes of death. She sells the earrings, the shipment brings 5 crossbows and a trail of taxes and fees. Any, 1475. Morning, Giuliano stands on the wall and sees the shape he feared. At first a shimmer, then hundreds of dark dots, then sails, war galleys by the dozen, then the 100. This is Gedik Ahmed Pasha's fleet, a commander who has taken Trebizond and Amasra, unbeaten at sea. Giuliano grabs the stone of the parapet as if to steady himself. Panic rises below. Women scream. Merchants clutch sacks of gold. He gives orders: shut the gates, raise the chains in the harbor, man the guns. The city, once considered impregnable, fell after several days of siege. One night lights appear at sea relief. They are Genoese merchant ships. They have orders, load the last cargo, and leave. Where are your men? A captain shouts from his deck. We have orders to take the cargo. Giuliano whispers, help us, we have no gunpowder. The captain shrugs, no powder, no bonus. They sail away with the grain that would have fed the garrison. Giuliano laughs then, a laugh that starts small and becomes a scream. The city held out for only 3 days. On the 4th, the walls fell. Giuliano fights until arrows pierce him. They say he killed 3 janissaries with his sword before he fell on the tower. He used to count his men. He dies looking at the sky. Genoa holds an emergency meeting in marble halls. The shareholders count. They notice something. Giuliano managed to transfer almost 6 months of tax revenue to the bank before the fall. On paper, the year's profit is clean. The bank debates suing the consul's heirs for lost profit. Lawyers suggest it's expensive. They settle on erasing Giuliano from the ledger. A bad line, closed. Caffa becomes Kef under Ottoman rule. Trade shifts flags, but continues. The Bank of St. George survives centuries, through discovery and reform, war and plague, until Napoleon closes it in 1805, calling it a refuge for thieves and money lenders. The principle does not die. Profit counted before people, ledgers before lives. When you hear about companies cutting safety, closing schools, shipping jobs away, remember, this formula is old as civilization. They always count, and those who count never stand on the walls. Giuliano Gentile's name is a footnote, no statues, no schoolrooms. Only a memory in a letter and the smell of salt on old stones. They counted his life as a loss on a page. But the page was balanced, the dividends were paid. More forgotten stories await. Subscribe and watch.